What's going on, y'all? So, I gotta talk about this real quick, man, because this woman just sent me something. She was deeply disturbed by a video that she saw from another prominent voice on relationships that she respects. And, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, man. It's Tyrese. You know what I mean? And normally I don't like to name drop and all that shit because I think we can have different perspectives or whatever and still coexist, and that's fine. But in this particular video, he says some things that if it's accepted as true, the truth that it's already being promoted as, is going to end up hurting a lot more women than the one that sent it to me. So in this video, he said something that stuck out. He said, you don't know what it is to be a wife. You're not ready to be a wife, right? That was his big point that he was making. So just to put a little bit of context around it, he started off okay. And then he went downhill fast. The first thing that he started off with was, as a wife, you're supposed to hold your man down mentally, emotionally, physically, the whole nine. I can agree to that. You know what I mean? That makes sense. No problem there. Then he goes on to say that, a lot of us, we like to blame the ending of marriages or marriages that don't work on the man. And it ain't always the man's fault. Cool with that too. I have no problem with that. But this is when shit starts to get sticky. All right. Then he goes on to say, I always hear that, oh, the marriage ended because the man cheated. I'm bored out of my mind. That's what he said. First off, if a man cheats, hell yeah, it's his fault. And that's a very valid reason for a marriage to end. And you being bored ain't got shit to do with you not keeping your word of monogamy. That's whether you married, whether you engaged, whether you just in a relationship or whatever. You know what I mean? If you said that you wanted that woman and that woman only, that wasn't under the condition that you're having the time of your life or that, you're fully captivated the entire relationship or only while you're interested. That's regardless. It's supposed to be just you and her. But it gets worse because that was just the beginning. He went on to build his case for why a woman or any given woman isn't worthy of being a wife. He used a personal example of his former relationship with a woman he said didn't know what to do or what to say to pull him out of a slump that he got into. He was experiencing one of the darkest moments he's ever had personally, on a personal level, and she didn't know what to do or say to fix it. So he told her that if he was stranded on an island, right, and he could have anything or any person that he wanted, just one, he would not choose her. That's what he told the woman who was trying to help him out of his slump, right? So before we even get to the part where this has shit to do with why a woman isn't rather worthy of being a wife, let me just say, that's not the way that you talk to a woman like your woman. You feel what I'm saying? I get if a woman is attacking you, so in the heat of the moment you got pissed off and you said some old bullshit like that, I understand that. But if this is your woman who's in your corner, even if she's at the moment ineffective in helping you out of your slump and, put a smile on your face, maybe it's not about her inability to help you. Maybe it's about your inability to help yourself as a grown-ass man. Even though you're in a relationship and you look to your companion for these types of things, we still have a responsibility to pull ourselves out, not to lash out at people who only want what's best for us just because they were ineffective at reaching us mentally. And maybe it has a lot less to do with her worthiness as a wife and more to do with your inability to pick your woman based on what you feel like are wife qualities. Maybe you only looked at her and saw ass and titties. And so when you needed a woman that could mentally stimulate you and reach you on an emotional level, you came up short. Or rather, you blame her for coming up short when really it was you. You know what I'm saying? So back to the part where a man's inability to see what's amazing about a woman has shit to do with whether or not she's worthy of being another man's wife. Because y'all already know how I feel. They say, one man's trash is another man's treasure. And I say a woman was never trash. That boy just didn't know better, which was likely the case. And there are a lot of men who get into these relationships and because the shit don't work or because, he and that woman are incompatible, what he does before the relationship is over is he tears her down and tells her that she's not worthy of being loved and ain't nobody gonna want her. And this is the reason why she was single up until this point and she gonna be single the rest of her life after he's done with her. And these problems define her as a woman. Man, fuck that. That's coming from him. That's coming from any man that you've ever dealt with. That's coming from your daddy, your pastor, or whoever. Any man that tries to measure a woman by his inability to see what makes her special is full of shit. Give it back to him. Tell him to throw that shit away. Don't accept it as truth. I don't care how many people hip hooray the shit that he's saying just because it sound good. I don't care how many love songs he done sang. And this ain't no personal attack at him. This is addressing strictly what he said in this moment and letting you guys know that this shit is just not true. Never accept another man's inability to see your worth as you not having any worth. And a man telling you that you're not worthy of being a wife, like, first off, there are several different types of wives. Like, there's no one type of wife that's, just for one type of man. Kim Kardashian is a completely different kind of wife than Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama is a completely different type of wife than Beyonce or whoever else. You feel what I'm saying? So for a man to try to define you by his one definition of a wife, for himself maybe, I don't know, but to tell you that you're less than that because y'all didn't work out, that's a man that's trying to tear you down. And don't ever let a man tear you down. I don't care what's awesome about him, how he look, how successful he is, how much money he got, none of that. Don't ever let a man tell you your worth based on his inability to see it.